5,000 years ago, on the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, something extraordinary happened. A transformation so profound that it changed the course of human history forever. There, in the fertile heart of Mesopotamia, a people known as the Sumerians emerged from the mists of prehistory. They didn't just settle the land, they invented civilization itself. And what they created still shapes every moment of your life in ways you may never have imagined. You wake up in the morning and check the time. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. All of these numbers, so familiar, were first calculated by Sumerian mathematicians, using a base 60 system that remains unchanged after 5 millennia. The very way you measure your day is a direct inheritance from minds that flourished thousands of years before the pyramids. But the impact of the Sumerians goes far beyond numbers on a clock. When you write a message, read a book, or record a note in your phone, you're engaging with the legacy of the world's first writing system. Before Sumer, humanity had no way to permanently capture its thoughts, stories, or laws. The Sumerians changed everything with the advent of cuneiform, wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets. In that moment, the barrier between memory and history was shattered. The truth has been hidden for thousands of years. The Sumerians didn't just invent writing for record-keeping. They created the world's first literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This ancient story, older than the Bible, introduced themes of heroism, mortality, and even a catastrophic flood. What archaeologists discovered next will shock you. Echoes of these stories appear in traditions from every corner of the globe, suggesting Sumer's influence spread far beyond its borders. Look around you. The chair you sit in, the wheels on your car, the makeup in your drawer, all owe their existence to Sumerian ingenuity. The wheel itself, so simple yet so revolutionary, appeared first in Sumerian workshops around 3500 BCE. For countless generations, humanity had never conceived of a rotating disc on an axle, a concept so fundamental that it underpins everything from pottery to modern transportation. The magnitude of this innovation cannot be overstated. A single Sumerian idea unleashed the mechanical age. But the Sumerians didn't stop at tools and technology. They built the first true cities, Uruk, Ur, Eridu, places teeming with tens of thousands of inhabitants. These were not mere clusters of huts. They had organized street grids, residential districts, marketplaces, and monumental temples built from massive mud brick and stone. The scale and sophistication of Sumerian urban planning defies explanation. Underground sewage systems carried waste away from homes, public spaces were carefully zoned, and irrigation channels transformed the harsh desert into a lush garden. This wasn't just settlement, it was the birth of society on a scale the world had never seen. In these cities, Sumerians established the world's first schools. Known as tablet houses, these institutions taught students to read, write, and calculate, sometimes through grueling days filled with homework and examinations. Archaeologists have uncovered clay tablets covered in practice exercises and complaints from students about strict teachers and difficult assignments. The truth is, the struggles and triumphs of education have remained unchanged for 5,000 years. Sumerian society was governed by laws, written, codified, and enforced by courts. The concept of legal equality, business contracts, and inheritance rights all began in Sumerian city-states. They even invented formal adoption procedures, marriage contracts, and complex partnership agreements. This changes everything we thought we knew about human history. The rules that hold modern society together are rooted in the innovations of a forgotten civilization. The Sumerians were masterful inventors, pioneering technologies that seem impossible for their time. Their sailboats traveled rivers and seas, connecting distant cultures and opening trade routes that would eventually span the known world. What archaeologists discovered next will shock you. Sumerian merchants traded goods with peoples as far away as the Indus Valley and the Mediterranean, centuries before the rise of Egypt or Greece. They invented the postal system, banks, credit, and even insurance, calculating risks and charging premiums to protect shipments against disaster. These concepts, so fundamental to modern life, were first imagined in the shadow of Sumerian ziggurats. And then there's beer. Long before the Bavarians or the Belgians, Sumerians brewed the world's first recorded beer. It wasn't just a drink, it was a vital part of the economy. Workers were paid in beer rations, goddesses were worshipped for their brewing skills, and recipes were inscribed on clay tablets. The significance of this invention reverberates through history, proof that the comforts and pleasures of modern life have ancient origins. Sumerian medicine was astonishingly advanced. They cataloged hundreds of medicinal plants, performed surgeries, and set broken bones with remarkable skill. Their medical texts describe symptoms, diagnoses, and treatments that would not be out of place in a modern clinic. They understood hygiene, using alcohol and honey as antiseptics to prevent infection. How did a civilization from the dawn of history develop such knowledge? Mainstream archaeology offers no clear answers. Even the concept of the weekend, taking a day for rest and religious observance, began with Sumerian calendars. Their 7-day week, with 1 day set aside for reflection, became a template for all the world's religions and societies. Every time you enjoy a Saturday off, you're living inside an ancient Sumerian innovation. What's most mysterious is how the Sumerians achieved all this with no precedents to guide them. Unlike Egypt or Babylon, Sumer had no older civilization to imitate. They invented everything from scratch: the wheel, writing, schools, cities, laws, literature, and even the basic structure of society itself. Their achievements are a testament to human creativity, but they also raise questions that mainstream historians often avoid. How could a people, emerging at the very edge of the Neolithic world, develop such astonishing complexity? Recent archaeological discoveries have only deepened the mystery. In the ruins of ancient workshops, researchers found evidence of mass production: pottery made on assembly lines, standardized products, and even branding marks to identify different manufacturers. Sumerian librarians cataloged clay tablets using sophisticated indexing systems, creating the world's first libraries. Merchants calculated risks, purchased insurance, and wrote contracts that protected their investments. These discoveries contradict everything we thought we knew about the timeline of human progress. The Sumerian legacy is not just a chapter in history, it's the foundation of the world we live in. Their inventions and ideas have survived wars, migrations, and the rise and fall of empires. Yet their civilization vanished mysteriously, leaving only ruins, artifacts, and legends behind. Why did the first and greatest civilization disappear so suddenly? Was it climate change, invasion, or something far stranger? The truth is still hidden beneath the sands of Iraq, waiting to be uncovered. So the next time you check the time, send a message, attend school, or walk through a city, remember, you're living in the shadow of the Sumerians. Their genius built the framework for all that followed. And as new discoveries come to light, we may find that the true story of Sumer is even more incredible and more mysterious than we ever imagined. What secrets are still waiting to be revealed? The answers may change everything we thought we knew about human history.